the new year with the tuning video. This is how I do it. Some people do it a little different. They do it by ear, adjusting carburetors and stuff like that. This is like a 1915. It has all the markings of a 59, all the features of a 59. So I believe it's either a 59 or a 1960. Anyhow, I'm gonna show you what we've done to it. So it wasn't. I don't think it was this carburetor. It could have been this carburetor, but I think it was leaking from here at the bushing down here by the throttle body, by the butterfly. It was a little loose and it was leaking fuel through there, and then just a little bit antiquated for what my friend wanted to keep. So he wanted a little bit more power, a little bit more reliability starting. So he went with the Weber. So we installed the Weber. At the time that we installed it, it had old fuel. So he burned through the fuel on the tank. We have a fresh tank of fuel right now. We've also installed new plugs, new wires, new cap, new rotor, and then it has a Petronics contacts or points, so we don't have to worry about setting the dwell on that. These are the tools that I like to use for tuning the engine and the carburetor. I like to use a vacuum gauge, and I'm using the light that it's already been timed, but I'm using this. I used to have a gauge that will hook up to the coil and draw the RPMs, but I have to bring out my digital one for now for this test, just to get an idea of where I am on the revolutions. So the way I like to set it up is obviously I'll always take your reading on the vacuum gauge off of manifold vacuum. This port here is usually, if you don't have a series 3, that port right there is always plugged. It's factory, it's not even drilled out. My friend Peter that built this truck in 1995, he ported it out and left it ready with the plug. So what I did was I took out the plug, I put that barb fitting in there, and I'm taking vacuum from that manifold port. Usually that port is reserved for brake booster. So the letter series 3s had brake boosters, and you would take manifold vacuum from there to boost the braking on the drum. So the way I also like to do these is by plugging. Right now you can just put a little cap, but I don't have any caps. So what I did is I just put a hose, plugged it with a screw, or bolt, and then make sure you don't have this to atmospheric. Make sure you plug it, and definitely don't plug it into your vacuum advance over there on the distributor. So you gotta have that plugged. And then I've already warmed up the truck, so I'm gonna show you right now. I brought it all the way down, screwed the air mixture screw all the way in, and backed it out 2 turns. So you'll see we're gonna do that. So now we're just gonna start it, turn this on. So now it's running. And right now we have about 600. Usually like the Zenix and the Weber, they like around 600 to 650 RPM. Weber's like a little bit more. I've noticed that people tend to be on board with having a little bit more revolutions on the Weber, between 700 to 900. I like it at like about 750, 775, right around that. I found them to be happy at those RPM. So here I have a little stubby screwdriver. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. Let me see if I unscrew. And I'm gonna back it out. And then we're gonna try to get the most vacuum out of the manifold. There you go. Going up. We're about 15. See, you can hear the RPM climb up a little bit. 16. That's 16 is about right. So give it a little. Pretty good. You take this thing down from here, it's making noise. So, see, we're about, after that little acceleration, we're taking about 17, which is right around where you like to be. Usually, like after you hit your 17 mark, you want to go like a quarter turn past that, just to give you a little extra bandwidth. Right now we're at 800. We might dial down the idle screw. Still knocking on 17 on the vacuum gauge. Sounds happy. And we're about 800 RPM. It's running down a little bit. It's going to hope that we don't change the vacuum. So let's bring it. Let's see if it. I'm backing out the idle screw now. Earlier it was just the fuel mixture screw, and we're about 726, 700, 720. Sounds happy. It's not fogging out. Sometimes you get a little fog out and it's running too lean. Whoever's running nice, and that's how I like to do it. Simple, you know. Just, I think I paid it like $15 for this thing a while back, and just a little bit of patience, and obviously you gotta have a running carburetor. But this was pretty good when we ended up mixing up the mixture when we installed it because of the old fuel. We couldn't get it to idle correctly. But once we burned through that fuel, we decided to give it another run at